Bristol, a city in the south of England, best known for its hot air balloons, Ribena, Hollywood legend Cary Grant, and of course graffiti. But more specifically, the mysterious, anonymous Banksy. My name is Harry Hyam, and today I am off to see how many Banksy paintings I can find around Bristol.
The day starts with coffee, and the day starts now.
After a coffee and a bacon roll, I set off to find the first painting, a girl with a pierced eardrum. It's tucked down an alleyway not far from the SS Great Britain. You can see the clock tower, you're pretty much there. If you're going to tour around to see Banksy's paintings, plan the order wisely. Once we'd seen this one,
we then went to walk to the next place, but we realised that we are separated by a body of water, and Google thinks that we're amphibians and believes that we can swim across it. But we can't, so now we have to go back to the car and drive round.
Whilst we drive, I'll give you a couple of facts about Bristol, shall I? It's currently number 8 on the most visited city list. The tourism generates 1.3 billion per year. Now I can't say that Banksy is solely to thank for that, but he definitely pitches in and helps those numbers. Right, on the way to a more recognisable piece, I stopped to see this. It reads, "You don't need planning permission to build castles in the sky." Oh. As you can see, a lot's happened here since it was originally painted. 2 new lights and a doorway. But what I love is the respect and recognition of talent expressed by the owner replacing the lost words. So, just 10 minutes up the road we get to the mild west. Banksy drew this artwork over 3 days in the broad daylight in 1999. It was drawn in response to various unlicensed raves and parties held in abandoned warehouses around Bristol in the 1990s that drew increased attention from the police. The artwork is actually quite popular amongst locals, as they see it as a good symbol of the heritage around the area. After walking up some pretty tasty hills, we managed to hunt down the rose in a mousetrap. Fun fact, over 20 of the local residents all pitched in to raise £50 to buy a frame and have it fitted. Another nod from the locals to Banksy, as one resident says, "Banksy is from Bristol and we are proud as punch about it." Not far from the hospital on the side of this busy street is the Banksy Queen. The David Bowie style queen sprang up just in time for the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. This wall was actually previously used by Banksy but was vandalised by rivals. So next up, in the Bristol Museum and Art Gallery stands the Paint Pot Angel. This came about as the collaboration exhibition called Banksy vs Bristol Museum saw some weird and wonderful things like the fish fingers in a fishbowl and the burnt out ice cream van. Last up on our Bristol tour is the well-hung Lover on Frogmore Street. I think we can all see what's going on here. This is painted on the side of a sexual health clinic, and it's also Banksy's first legal piece of street art, which in turn makes it his first protected piece of street art. Not that that makes any difference, as it's clearly been hit by a couple of paintballs. Well, that's my first shot at Banksy in Bristol, but to be perfectly honest, all it's really done is create more questions, which is why I'm going to take this one step further and take my search beyond the city of Bristol to London, and maybe even beyond the borders of England and into other parts of Europe. I want to find all of his paintings and maybe even find out who he is. Anyway, thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.